SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake was announced over 6 months ago at this point, and with hardly any new information surfacing since that initial unveiling, it's tough to be hyped for it, but should we be? Now it's no secret I'm not a very big fan of the previous SpongeBob game developed by Purple Lamp. I made an entire video about why if you're curious, but all you need to know is that I didn't like it. Despite that, I still have relatively high hopes for the Cosmic Shake, and maybe it's just me being optimistic, but there is some reason behind it. So, one of my biggest issues with Rehydrated was that they brought back the exact same level designs as the original game, which they should've, but they didn't properly copy the world physics and game mechanics alongside them. By not following the original game's design contracts and importing the exact same level structures, nothing seemed to work right. And it's not like they took what was there and tightened it up. No, everything feels night and day different, and it's not for the better. Every movement feels way more limited, slow, and heavy, which clashes with levels that were built to be explored with lighter, more free maneuvers. Forget the poor optimization of the Switch version I played and the lack of overall polish in the game as a whole, this is the biggest issue I have with this remake. But if you take those new gameplay mechanics and build levels around those, there's potential for something a lot better, and that's exactly what the Cosmic Shake is giving them a chance to do. They've built game mechanics that, in themselves, aren't broken, and with the opportunity to create a brand new game with all new levels, there's no excuse now, and I think they'll come through with something good. Rehydrated established Purple Lamp as a capable studio, and brought the SpongeBob video game franchise to a modern era. Before that, the two most recent home console SpongeBob games were Plankton's Robotic Revenge and SpongeBob Hero Pants, and I don't think anyone can look at those two games and argue there's anything redeeming about them. When you think of a cash grab, what comes to mind? A low-effort product that slaps a famous character on the front to make a quick buck, and these two are perfect examples. It's such a shame, too. Look how nice SpongeBob games started off. This is a GameCube game that came out in 2003, and this is a Wii U game that came out 10 years later. You see, it's evolving, just backwards. But when you fast forward to 2020, now that looks like a new SpongeBob game. I've crapped on the art style for looking like modern SpongeBob and not the classics, but that's mostly my nostalgia talking. When you look at these as standalone worlds, they're beautiful, and when compared to other remakes to come in the last few years, they're very much on par. That's mostly thanks to them all using Unreal Engine 4, but still, the lighting effects and detail in all aspects of these levels is astonishing. But that's beside the point. What I'm trying to say is Purple Lamp has essentially revived the entire SpongeBob video game landscape and has set it on a path to success, and as long as this new game at least surpasses Rehydrated, we should be able to comfortably anticipate further quality SpongeBob games in the future. I really hope that's the case, but I do have some concerns. First, according to the Wikipedia article, the player navigates through these worlds as SpongeBob. There's no mention of Sandy, who is my favorite playable character in Battle for Bikini Bottom. It does mention Patrick, but not in a traditional form. Instead, it seems like he'll travel with SpongeBob after being turned into a balloon. I know there will be some explanation for this in the game's plot, but even still, removing 2 of the 3 gameplay styles is a questionable decision. That's part of what made Battle for Bikini Bottom's levels so great. Each character's unique array of abilities allowed for some really solid puzzle solving that will no longer be possible. I'm sure Balloon Patrick will have some implications on gameplay, but I doubt it will live up to having 2 additional playable characters. Besides that, the only other thing that worries me is the lack of polish and abundance of glitches present in Rehydrated, which could carry over to this game, but I think they'll spend more time cleaning it up. I hope. I mean, this one is gonna retail for $10 more than Rehydrated, so maybe an increased budget will result in more testing and optimization. Or maybe it's just inflation, I don't know. At this point in time, we don't know much about the game at all, so there's really not a ton of reason to be concerned about it, but there is a ton to be excited about. Just the potential this game has gets me excited. We're getting a brand new 3D platformer starring SpongeBob, and it's being built off the back of Battle for Bikini Bottom's remake. Just like the SpongeBob movie game was built off the back of the original Battle for Bikini Bottom, and that game turned out to be one of my favorite licensed games of all time. The devs worked with the cream of the crop of 3D level design in recreating those older stages. They know them inside and out now, and have a great understanding of what makes a good 3D platforming stage, and they're gonna prove it. On top of that, the trailer we've seen shows off so many interesting looking worlds based on iconic SpongeBob episodes. I mean, there's primitive SpongeBob and a prehistoric looking world from Ugg, a cowboy SpongeBob that could take place in the Pest of the West world, and a night SpongeBob that could definitely be based on the stellar Dunces and Dragons episode. And there's obviously a huge focus on band geeks throughout the trailer, so there's gotta be some level referencing that as well, but I have no clue where that would take place. The more I think about it though, it was probably just chosen because people collectively call Band Geeks their favorite episode, and the inclusion of Sweet Victory caught the attention of more SpongeBob fans. Yeah, that's more believable. From what we've seen, we're gonna get a mix of level themes unlike anything we've ever gotten in a platformer, and I hope we can say the same about the level designs themselves when the game eventually releases. But I want to know what you think. Are you excited for this new game, cautiously optimistic, or do you flat out think it's gonna suck? Let me know in the comments down below, and drop the video a like if you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later.